Yes. All right. Sorry about that. This definitely didn't work. All right. So I'm going to go, yes, it's fine. All right. This will work. And thank you for your patience. Okay. Now, the closer I get, the more you can see. These are, you can see them from different angles. So you can see these are the little cone-shaped galls. They were red in Joyce's picture. They're kind of pink and dying here. But I'm going to hold them as still as I can. So you get a good look up close. Now I'm going to get an even closer look with my camera in just a minute, but you're going to be able to see what was inside. That one, trying to remember, that was a larva, which really surprised me. Now half of them are larval, but usually at this time, at least half of them are adults. And usually if I wait this late, well, if I waited till November, they'd all be adults. All right, this is my favorite. And we're going to have to watch the other video because the Attenborough didn't work. We're going to watch this to see these guys jump. So we will watch, I hope Kim doesn't mind doing that. We will watch the video that you may or may not have seen and can visit anytime you want on Deep Look. It's a YouTube video. So these are teeny tiny. They are 1 millimeter in diameter spheres. And when they fall, and a bunch of them, and it's only impressive when you get a whole bunch, when they all fall down at the same time, it is really amazing. They jump up and down until they pupate. And Joyce said she had some live ones and she refrigerated them, so we hope that they'll jump. Right. But all she has to do is warm them up. It'll be fine.
Yeah, so I have them. I have something under my camera if you want to, whenever you want to stop, but then I'm gonna have to switch.
Okay, well, as soon as you guys are tired of museum drawers, we can take a break. We can always finish and go back to the museum drawer. And thank you again for your patience with our less than ideal camera situation. Now you have to see my messy living room, but hopefully you don't mind.
Not as messy as my living room.
Do you want me to put the camera on?
If you want, yes, I'm ready for you. I entertained as long as I could.
Sorry, I just have to share my screen here.
They're not open with users. Right? Has fed the limit, and then they're dying from that.
Okay, and then I'm going to go back to work on getting more of my photos in so I can show you the shots of my dissections while Joyce is showing you this.
So this is whoops, gotta share my screen. This here is not too exciting. This is a Baccharis coyote bush gull, and I think this is a wasp pupa. I was hoping to get a what happened to my here we go. I was hoping this little guy, there's a couple things here, only one's in focus. Where is my pointer? Okay, this thing over here is a pupa of something. So I was,
it is pupa. Yeah, you're right.
There should be flies in here, but I'm not sure if this is what it is.
It's a parasitoid, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure it's a wasp, yeah.
So it's a parasitic wasp on your fly midge gall.
Yeah. And then move this over. And this is hard to see too, but just so there you can see kind of a mess, but so there's multiple larval cells here, and you can kind of see little larvae, which I think are all actually parasitoids. In fact, this guy up here,
Yeah.
this, oops. This one here is a little green wasp.
He looks ready to emerge.
Yeah, so these are hard to see, so I want to move on to something else. I also wanted to say that part of the reason, well, the reason for looking inside at all is I don't do this all the time, but sometimes I just don't know enough details to know what it is. I mean, sometimes I may never know what the inducer is, but sometimes knowing how many larval cells are inside will help you idea sometimes the color of the larva or the type, like whether it has hairs or not hairs, Kathy. If it's a cynipid or not a cynipid.
It's way important to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes, like for hairy galls, sometimes removing the hairs, you might notice some details that somebody's moving inside this one here. And here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
Switching.
sometimes just if, like, I'm gonna stop this screen share and share a different one. So this was Androcus fulaway, which it looks like one gall. Can you see this okay?
I can. Yeah.
And then this was the one that I just wanted to remove the fuzz last night. And this wasp came out of that hole. It was actually, I could see it chewing its way out, and there it is.
Wow.
So, but actually, and then I didn't take a picture showing that there were actually 2 galls there. I got distracted by them.
What actually, that can be really fun. There can be a whole line of galls. They mostly stick to the midrib vein if they can.
Yeah.
The fun thing about the line of galls, it makes it look like a fuzzy caterpillar. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can think, oh, this is one gall, and it turns out it's 8 or 10 or something, and that the gall is actually much smaller than you think, especially these hairy ones, because the hair can take up a lot of space. I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna switch, before getting into the other oak galls, this is something, this is another reason to cut open a gall. This is, you're gonna see me, oh no, you're not seeing this yet, sorry. Go back to my, I'm gonna share this other screen.
Ah.
So this was an acorn, which you didn't see what it looked like when I pulled it off the tree, but it was just a little bit lopsided. And a lot of times acorns have acorn weevils in them, the larvae. And so when I first started looking for galls in acorns, all I was finding was acorn weevils. And I still am not entirely sure how to recognize, I mean, some galls in other states, acorn galls, are very fancy and they're obviously cynipids, but The acorn galls here are more subtle. So the cap came off here, and it was just, oh, actually part of the reason I picked this cap here, see the two holes? Oops. So it had these two holes, so I knew there was something had come out of it. And the other, I'm going to show you that was one gall. This is the other gall from the inside. So I kind of shaved off the inside edge of the gall so you can see it was a neat little hole.
So it's living close to the cap.
It's living close to the cap. There are two species in Quercus agrifolia, at least two species, that are hard to know what they are. They were hard to just look at the acorn and see that they're there, but one lives under the cap like this, and the other one is in the nut of the acorn. And yeah, and a lot of times you see, I collected some other acorns. If you cut open this acorn, the nut part looks really it looks pretty good. It doesn't look very damaged. The weevils actually really damage the inside of the acorn nut. You open it up and it's all brown and full of frass, and there's a big larva in it that's unhappy. In this case, it looked like there were two galls, and both the wasps left. So I have an Andricus kingi that I cut open last night, and there is an adult, actually two of them. But neither of them were really ready to So the one on the bottom here is when you take them out too soon, their wings are often messed up. I often feel bad doing this, but it's worth it sometimes to see what's in there. And both of these are the gall inducer. So the other one is over here, and she's less developed. Right, Kathy?
Yeah, she's just become an adult. She's finished pupating, but yeah.
The one down, the lower one or the upper one?
The upper one, but the lower one, I can't see the side. Ooh, twitch. Okay.
Yeah, let me zoom in a little more.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Sorry, you can see my eye. I'm trying to look.
See her head, and her wings are kind of not, they're all folded up. And the larval
Folded, but they can still pump them, you know. I don't think you've necessarily hurt her that badly.
Well, I took her out last night, so she hasn't.
She could still. And the wings look pretty well formed, although the left one may be broken, but look at her wiggling her antennae. She looks like she's come into life. So that's good.
So this is the chamber where she was. Can you guys see my arrow? My mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They're in the lower part of the gall in a typical nice little
she
round.
dissected this thing. It's like a cone. And inside, the wasp was living in there. So galls.
Inside a Goldberg?
A gall.
So I I did have, we can see if these galls jump. I did get some jumping galls.
We want to see that. Yeah.
So I'm not sure they're in this. Yeah, somebody is jumping. Let me,
I love that. And then when they hit each other, when somebody bumps into somebody else, then that one jumps. So it sort of starts a chain reaction. They have to have a solid surface to jump on. I think it's an adaptation to hide them in crevices. Ooh,
they are, some of them are moving. You can see some of them have exit holes too. And
yeah.
there's some wasps in here. What's,
I see somebody move. Oh, hey, jumping. Whoa, more activity.
It seems like the lighter colored ones are jumping. Of course, some of
More
the
active.
browner ones have exit holes.
And or they may have already pupated. Once they've pupated, they stop jumping. So the lighter ones are fresher and younger.
Yeah, these were on a leaf yesterday, or a bunch of leaves actually. I hadn't really expected to see these still on leaves. They're mostly off the leaves where you are, Kathy, right?
No, there's still some.
They're not jumping big distances. They were just in the cooler.
Well, I think that that's neat. And if you just sort of sit them under the light, they'll start jumping more later. So we'll be able to watch it.
Okay.
Show some, okay. Let me know when you want me to come back. I've got a few things, but not much. So I want to work on more.
Yeah, so with the things that I haven't cut open, I just don't know what's gonna be in them. I actually had some Quercus, Andricus Quercus californicus galls, the big oak apples, and they, I just opened 3 of the 5. And I know they usually exit in October, but all 3 were, they didn't really have exit holes, but I didn't find anything inside, just holes. So I don't know what happened.
You need a classroom of 5th grade boys. One time I demonstrated these to a classroom of 5th graders, most of whom were boys. And as I passed out the galls to look at, they ripped them apart. And I thought this was in November, and I was sure there were no wasps left. Boy, was I wrong.
Well, there's still 2 of those galls, so I might cut them open. Should I have here Heteroicus daisydactyli. I could cut this open.
Okay, the host for the jumping gall is the valley oak, Quercus lobata, but I have seen them on blue oak. And they are known to occur on Gary oak, all the way up into Canada. So the original host was no doubt lobata. They seem to have jumped to other white oaks, which again, I said they could, and you will see them in some number doing that.
This
So,
is what the gall looks like without the fuzz. Oh no, I guess that's out of focus.
okay,
I'm gonna move these guys and just put this here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
So this is a club gall.
That's Heteroicus daisydactyli. I just removed the fuzz.
You removed the fuzz. Got it.
Preparation for cutting it open, just so you see what it looks like. It's a pretty good size gall, and this is not a great way to see it. So I'm just gonna cut it open.
And Kathy, I think that you and Joyce can both share your screens at the same time. I'm not sure what that would look like, but
Okay.
if you have something that you want to show us, you're
Okay.
able to do that. And then
I
there
will.
was a question in the chat. It said some rose galls have quote unquote thorns, and the Artemisia California galls are fuzzy, like the AC leaves. What's up with that?
Well, you know, we can't really answer it. I guessed about the thorny rose galls that part of that is to avoid being eaten by nearby herbivores who like rose leaves, but that's just my guess. And they are pretty spiky, those thorns. Just so, they really are strong thorns and not pleasant in our hands, and I'm sure not very pleasant for any predator that might be eating them.
So, so it looks like, it looks like we have some sort of pupa in here.
Cool.
Looks like probably a cynipid.
Aha.
I
So it's
cannot-
not fuzzy or hairy, because it's the hairy ones are.
hairy cynipids.
Yeah, no, the hairy ones aren't. They're well, the galls. Oh, I see. Oh, it's an adult or pupa.
Yeah, so I'll continue. This is the part where it's a little better to do it under the scope because
Can you do it under the scope? Would you like me to show some books? I've got a few books out, and I'm also trying to figure out how I could just show you a bunch of things without having to stop and sort them, because Word is not cooperating with me today. We'll see what I can do. Okay, so
why don't, yeah, I'll stop sharing and you take a
I
couple
can try to
minutes.
do what I can do. We're going to see what happens. Okay, I can't promise good luck with this because I'm having to be on my in order to be online, I'm having to use my Google or whatever it's called, Google Chrome. So I have to find a different way to get my mail. Let's see if I can find it. I think I have a program called Mail on here. We'll see.
Do you want me to show them the deep look video while you do that?
It'll just take a minute, but I think I might just as well do, yeah, I'll get into, whoops. Now, for some reason, okay. Huh. Yeah. Okay, Gmail. Oh, shoot. I thought I was in it already. Darn it. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, we'll just start actually. Let me go back to a little bit less boring. I'm going to try to show you the one I actually had going. And here are some books that you may have seen already, and I will do a screen sharing. Sorry about this. Screen sharing here. Okay, this, when I get it under control, whoops, I have to blow it up. As I said, my Word is definitely not cooperating. This is Joyce's new book. Oops. Let's see if I can make it smaller. View. And 100%, no, we don't want that. We want it to zoom to 75%. That should be okay. And there we go. So that's the new book that's coming out. And I happen to be lucky. Joyce sent me an advance copy, but it will go on sale soon, today or tomorrow, right? Okay.
I think it said October 30th. That would be today, right?
That is today. Okay. Well, and then let's go up and see what else I have. All right. I've got a couple of, woo, I had a whole bunch of pictures there that all disappeared. As I said, my Word is not cooperating. Okay. So I'm going to try to go back in my mail and let me stop sharing for just a moment. How about you do show the deep look?
Okay.
That would be perfect. And they'll get to see jumping galls, whether or not Joyce's cooperate more and jump faster.
Okay. So
I promise to get right back to my, my box and my museum drawer and show you individual galls. So that's really perfect. And thank you for doing that.
not sure why the volume's not working.
Mine didn't work at all. That's why.
Huh. Oh, here we go.
And suddenly this tiny
All right.
Plenty of animals build their homes in oak trees, but it's another thing entirely to get the oak tree to do all the work, to build your house for you. Say you're an oak tree, just sitting there minding your own business, when suddenly this tiny wasp comes along. She says, "Hey, why don't you build me a nursery for these baby wasps I'm about to have?" And then she injects her eggs under your skin. You find yourself creating an entirely new structure when you would have never built for yourself. What nerve, you might say. What gall. And you'd be right. This thing, this parasitic wasp house, it's called a gall. There can be dozens of types of galls on a single tree, each one built to order for a specific species of wasp. They're called gall-inducing wasps, and each gall is weirder and more flamboyant than the next. Sometimes the wasps prefer a mobile home. This one is called a jumping gall. It falls from the tree and bounces across the ground like a Mexican jumping bean until it finds a safe place to hatch. As a protection against predators, galls can taste incredibly bitter, bitter like the bile produced by a gall bladder. In fact, the earliest doctors believed being bitter and angry meant excess of gall in the body. Anyway, back to our tree. Inside the gall, the larvae mature and develop, and as they grow, they release chemicals that tell the tree how to build the gall. The tree is tricked into funneling nutrients into the gall to feed the hungry wasp larvae. Scientists call this a physiological sink. For the larvae, it's like living inside a giant banana, an endless supply of food. But the peace and quiet don't last long. All that free food starts attracting uninvited guests. That original wasp itself becomes a host for another set of wasps called parasitoids. One study in the UK found 17 different wasp species living in one gall. But the oak tree, it does just fine. In most cases, unharmed by the tiny rivalries in tiny houses on its branches and its leaves.
Okay, so is it my turn or Joyce, are you ready? Want me to take a turn for a bit?
Oh, yeah, I have some more stuff to look at, but it's
Okay.
what did
So
I
I'm apologizing in advance because I had hoped by now to have this better organized and it just didn't work and I'm sorry. So you're going to get to see my mail to myself, but a bunch of pictures that I did earlier today. So we're going to go into my mail, which I figure out, whoops, you know what I have to do? I have to figure out how to share it. Okay, so smaller, ignore all the mail from other people that is, I don't know, maybe personal or maybe just telling me to work harder at whatever. Well, you'll see. Anyway, ignore it. Okay, so, oh, Joyce is sharing. Oh, good, that's even better. That looks like an adult wasp coming out of your, let's see, it's an Andricus kingi gall.
Oh, no. I have two species on this. This one is the Heteroicus dactylii.
Oh, different gall.
I wish the depth of field were better here. Oh, let me zoom out.
That's the one you just dissected or showed us. You took off all the hairy part so we could see
Right.
it. And then
I-
you dissected it.
I actually opened two, but they both have the same same situation inside. So you can see the let's see. It's hard to tell here, but this is a very nice oval, smooth inside. Typical cynipid larval cell, and the same back in here.
But it looks like an adult cynipid.
Yeah, uh-huh. And she's
So
not,
overwintering as an adult.
yeah. And then this other, this was kind of the same. Let's see.
She's fallen out.
Yeah, there's the larval cell. She fell out.
I see her on the ground. Very good. Oh, twitching an antenna?
I'm not sure about that.
She's just waking up, maybe hasn't yet.
And there was one more I opened up. This was Tishocaspis washingtonensis. So on and I think that's why I didn't actually have a good look. She looked kind of cooked.
What kind of oak did you find that on?
Valley oak.
Good.
Yeah, the larva looks kind of dead. I think it's sort of, I think she's dried up. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I felt like when I was out in the field that a lot of stuff's been kind of really baked this year,
Yeah.
but that happens in a year. So, oh, there's something easy I wanted to cut up. I think it's easy. I don't know. We'll see what's inside. To contrast the neat cynipid larval cell. This is a Baccharis moth gall. And I don't know if there is anybody inside, but they're nice and big and easy to cut up. And then the moths are really messy. And that's how you know it's not a cynipid.
We call insect feces frass, F-R-A-S-S. It's a 5-letter word. And that's what Joyce is referring to, messy. They don't know they shouldn't be doing that where they live. My gall wasps are much better. The larvae actually have something called a meconium. They keep that stuff inside. They don't let it out until after they exit the gall, or when they're getting ready to exit the gall.
Oops. So this is the black stuff up here is frass. And it looks like it's a pupa, whether it's been parasitized or whatever or not, I don't know. It looks like it could be the moth pupa though.
It does.
But all that black messy stuff, the cynipid would never do that.
Yeah.
So that's just to contrast the nice, neat cynipid larval chamber.
Thank you, Joyce.
I have I have one more. I'm just curious to cut open to.
Okay, do you want me to entertain while you cut open, or do you want to show us what you're going to be working on?
Oh, here, this one is fast. This is I just tore off part of it. It's another one of these Baccharis moth gulls.
No, we can't share it together. Sorry. Okay. Well, I'll stop my sharing and there.
Okay. I think something's happened to this guy, so you can take over, Kathy.
Okay. I'm going to go back to the share, but I'm going to try to figure out a way that you won't have to see unnecessary.
Oh, let me stop my sharing.
Okay, hang on. Yeah. Okay, so basically ignore all these people telling me get off my rear end and do something. Let's see, here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. Okay, so this is Ron Russo's book, Plant Galls, which you've probably seen. This is the one that came out about 2004. And I had the pleasure of being one of his editors, and he was really fun to work with. This is the previous book. This one came out in 1981. Different publisher, and this is the one with one of my favorite Plumbella galls on the front page. Okay, in addition to this current field guide to plant galls, he has this addendum is one of them. He has two addenda. So this addendum is the first one. And then he has a second one. That one is 2011. And the second addendum is down here. I'll keep looking. I know it's here. Okay. We've got these three. Here we go. Nope, 2011, so we'll go back to the next addendum, and that's 2012. So all of these are wonderful and helpful books, but that's a lot of literature to carry around in the field. So it's really exciting. He's coming out with a new one in just a few months in the spring. Okay, now I wanted everybody got a good look at Joyce's new book, right? Or did I show you? Yes, I like it. Thank you for nodding your head so I know what's going on. All right, so now I'm going to try for the next screen. And here, I hope you'll bear with me. Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen this Tracks and Signs of Insects is excellent. Whoops, it disappeared, but it was there. And I highly recommend it. Well, that didn't last long. Okay, highly recommend the book. It's on the list. I think I've given you all the publisher information, so that's all you'll need. Okay, so we're going to go back to my inbox and find the one that says more. All right. This is going to be a little hard and a little messier, but we're going to see. And then I'm going to need Joyce to just answer me audibly. What is the one that looks like the one you're dissecting now, the Distelcaspis canescens from Valley Oak? But it's on blue oak. It looks a lot like that, and I do get them confused.
There is canescens, but Distelcaspis washingtonensis is
more likely
on Valley Oak, but I think it's on blue oak. And is there one more?
No, I think it is. It's either canescens or washingtonensis. We don't know. I collected several of them, and you're going to see that I actually managed to dissect them. This was all with my little iPhone, lucky me, it was able to magnify this much. Now, when I went beyond that to actually look in my microscope, thinking I could do a better job, it turns out I didn't. Okay, so, oh shoot, I'm going to ignore that. I did not want to do that. I did not want to download it. That gets too confusing. Okay, so somewhere here I have, oh, the next thing, well, I'll show you later. These are all the things I want to take you on a trip of each one at a time. Okay, here we are looking at the same gall under magnification. Unfortunately, my iPhone and my microscope don't mesh the way my camera used to, but my camera isn't working properly right now, so I can't do it. And iPhones could make, and in fact, I did some video, but it didn't work too well today. All right, so we're gonna go back, and that's it at that magnification. Then I tried it at a higher magnification. You can't see it very well, and it's not wiggling, so I didn't think it'd be worth much. But see, this is the size of that. That's pretty much what we're hoping. Joyce will pull out in just a minute. So, and Joyce will have the live camera action, so we'll be able to see it wiggling. Mine wasn't wiggling very much, so I didn't think you'd miss much if you didn't see it wiggle. Okay, now we're gonna go back and see the next one I cut up in order. Okay, so I started with this. Okay, this is not antron, but Cynips douglasii now. And let's see, beyond that, I think this is the same one. I cut it up and you could see it. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Okay, now remember the first one was a larval, but this one looks like it's going to be an adult or a pupa, we'll see. So we'll go back. And now see, I had to do all of them first on the table and then take them all to my microscope. So let's see what I've got here. You know what, this is not, this, we're going to go to the next picture. And here is that, no, is that it? The same one in the microscope? Probably not. Let's see what we can see next. Okay. See what else is here because they're all down here, but I can't see them all at the same time. All right. Well, you can see that this one was an adult and I had to cut a large chunk of the gall away, but I do have pictures of it later under the microscope. Whoops, but that's, I don't think that's it, although it could be. Yeah, I probably had to cut off everything around it. So there's your adult sitting there. Is the Andricus kingi, and that was sadly under the microscope turned out to be a dying pupa. I must have cut a little far. So no action from that one. Let's see what else I have here. That's it so far that I can see. Whoops, more. And I had these.
I have some larvae from Dishocasis.
Yours have got to be better than mine. Okay, so yes. It's like looking at bad home movies, I'm sorry, of my latest vacation, which can't be of interest to anybody. Okay, so we stopped screen sharing. Excellent, thank you. And thank you for your patience. This is new to both of us, very new technology, but Joyce has the better technology and she is our IT expert. So, whoa, is he active?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a gall from Valio. And
yes.
They're stem galls and they're kind of sticky. That you often see ants on them.
Oh, this is the honeydew gall. This is Elderadensis. Yeah.
I have to figure out if this is because I didn't take the larva out, if this is hairy or not.
I suspect it's going to be hairy, but I can't promise.
I think it's
pointed. And
I'll try and zoom in. Well, of course, it's kind of hiding.
yeah. If it were a parasitoid, it would have a few little hairs sticking out. But if it has no hair sticking out, it's either A, the inducer cynipid, or B, an inquilin that moved in. And in this small gall, the inquilin would have bitten the original inducer to death while it developed. So it would have killed the inducer, but not eaten.
What is there in the gall? I wonder if that's a carcass.
I don't know. You could be right. It could be the parasitoid still eking out the last little bit of the host.
So I'm gonna move to another one here,
Oh, hey,
but
good job.
and then there were two others that were pupae.
That could be an adult. And it's also Discocaspis eldoradensis, but it looks like it's an adult wasp, the gall inducer.
Oh, and then there was one I actually took out.
Ah,
Looks the same as the other one we just saw. Do you think that's the inducer?
oh yeah, I can tell. She's, well, okay. I can't be totally absolutely certain, but she sure doesn't look like the typical Synergis, which is the most common of the inquilins in that group. I could maybe tell better if you can get her wiggling some more, but she sure looks like the Andricus gall inducer. So I suspect she's the Andricus gall inducer.
I don't think she's
Yeah, no, she is for sure. I can tell by her antennae, because the Synergis actually have more clubbed antennae and a little bit shorter.
you know, speaking of Synergis,
You still have that one?
yeah, she did, of course, die today.
Oh,
But she's easier to see when she's not moving.
true. Yeah, she wouldn't sit still for us last time we looked at her.
So I can show her and people can see the difference. Let me see.
She was crawling around from, when did we first try to Zoom on her? Tuesday? And when?
Yeah, it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So, well, but Thursday, I guess we were already busy with this. So I didn't see her, but you said she was still alive.
She is, well, she's not totally dead, but
Oh, well, dying. Well, she was actively moving her antennae and walking around last I looked at her. And that's really neat. If you look closely, you can see her antennae are sort of clubbed. Yes, they're long, but they're not quite as long and fine, stringy as they would be for the gall inducer. The other thing about her you might notice is her face is yellow and not the same color as the body parts. And if we could get the wings magnified, we'd also notice a much simpler, it's a basic closed cell in the vein, wing veins. And yeah, it's hard to explain, but most cynipids have what looks, it's four-sided, but it looks kind of triangular. And these have a simpler one, less wing venation than the gall inducers. Yeah, and that's a really good thing to see. So, but thank you, Joyce, because we can see that. I can see that clearly now. You can see how light the veins are. So they're kind of yellow. You have to really look hard to see them. You can do it with backlight, or we can, change some other things to get a good look at the wing veins. But that's good enough for me to tell. And if you catch any and, decide to pin them or check them out under a microscope, you could see that that's a simple little and a yellow veined cell.
okay, one thing I'm disappointed we haven't seen any definite parasitoid larvae because I really like those hairy guys.
We had
This
one yesterday.
more- yeah, this guy is coming out more. Let's see. If
Oh, action. Whoa. Let's see if
we can see it better.
yes. Are you hairy or not? Doesn't look very hairy to me.
Yeah, I think it's a cyanide.
I think he might be the gall inducer, but he looks like he's pretty big and maybe getting ready to pupate. Could be. So now you know what's inside those galls you see and may have taken pictures of. Does anybody have any galls that they've collected that they want us to help identify? Were you able to use the gall guide that Joyce and I sent, that Joyce made? Whoa, that's neat.
Let me stop my share. Someone was trying to share their screen.
Uh-oh.
How do we allow that?
Oh, no, I don't. I saw a thing, somebody wanting to get in, and I let 2 people in from the waiting room just now.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, if you have a gall that you have a question about or something, just unmute yourself, and then we should be able to see you, and you can show your item to the camera, or I think everybody has the ability to share their screens too.
Whoa. That's mine. I hope you're not seeing that. Okay.
No.
Good. I'm not sharing my screen. Too many home movie type things. I promise I'll put them all together into a nice PDF to send you to put up, okay? For they're not great. You could see the limitations of my minimal camera stuff and my, microscope, but I did my best, and I do have something. 4 galls that had somebody at home.
I have a question on cutting open the gall. How do you do that? With a big knife or a little saw or what?
Hang on.
It depends on the gall with me. Oh, I'll be right
What
back.
I used.
Oh,
I haven't tried
those are
that. I'll
It's
be
what
right
you
back.
get in your lab kits. So I had to use a cutting board. So I actually have my kitchen cutting board out here, but then I had a plain piece of white paper, smooth, so that you wouldn't see the cutting board, and so that it would be a flat surface for photography. Again, my photography was limited. As I said, I've been trying all week to see which of my remaining cameras. I've got a bunch of cameras I inherited from my husband who died 9 years ago that I still haven't figured out how to work. I apologize, but I'm working on it.
so the surface of the gall is fairly soft.
It
Depends on
isn't
the
in
gall.
all cases. A couple of those galls, I use this knife,
Oh,
a
okay.
ceramic knife.
I
Okay.
tried to cut this one up, and I had to push very hard with my razor blade.
Oh,
And then I also have this little
Scalpel.
dissecting
I
knife.
like a scalpel. Scalpels are very handy.
Yeah.
And I do have one in the other room with my microscope, but I haven't been using that for this video. So.
oh, thank you.
There were there are galls that are, I'm going to show you just that are built into the stems of, let's see, this one is, trying to see the label. Okay, this was from Canyon Live Oak. And so we cut this open with the hacksaw very carefully because I wanted to see what the larval chambers look like compared to some of the other galls that are these really hard woody galls.
Mhm.
And so It took a long time because I wanted to still be able to see the structure without totally destroying it.
These galls are really hard to cut open too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I didn't cut it very well. This was a while back. So the one out of my museum drawer, you can see I did hack on it and I didn't get it flat, but I did my best. And you can see a couple of the chambers, and looking hard on the opposite side, you see the exit holes that came where the
Right.
So basically, the wasp will chew her way through as a larva, stop, come back, pupate, and then the adult wasp just to push out that one last layer of tissue. Because it's hard work with our scalpels and razor blades
Yeah.
or
Was the-
saws.
Yeah, that was Caloritis quercus palmiformis that you just showed.
No, what I was just showing you. Oh, and I've got a bunch of those that I promised to cut for today, and I didn't. All right.
So
Hang
this is one of those, and it's a slice. And so
Oh,
it's
it's nice.
kind of hard to see on this, but it was just interesting seeing the way they did the holes.
Mm.
But to slice it, I have several slices here. This is just one. This is actually one of the softer galls compared to that last one I showed.
I have one that
Uh-huh.
I try to see if I can share my screen. Let's see.
on your screen in front of your face. That worked for me.
Oh, no, I have a pic. No, I can't do it. I guess I can't
picture.
share my screen. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Well, I can't. Well, let's see. I can't. There it is. Okay,
Oh.
this is on Canyon Live Oak.
Wow.
And I thought I found it about a week ago.
Leslie, you find galls that are not described, you know.
Well, I wondered if it was I wrote it down. Is it like a spring generation of something else?
I think so. The spring generation of Heteroicus. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I just my mind just went blank here.
I think it's in there, so.
Very common gall. Let me get this up here. Oh,
My mind is going blank too.
Heteroicus pacificus. So I think
Looks
I
a little dusty, but yeah, it could be.
it looks a little hairy, and
Yeah.
I don't think that those are hairy. So I think I'm just looking at my web page here because yeah. So I can share this with you. Leslie, did you look at my undescribed page? 'Cause
I did, but I feel like it's in Russo, or at least in my mind it was in Russo, but I can't find it. So
Okay, now you're talking about your page on the Gall Guide, Joyce? Or
no, I'm in the
page.
Gall Guide. I don't have much in the way of the undescribed galls, but on my website,
why don't you share the screen with your website? Can you do
yeah,
that?
I'll unshare here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have to stop
There we-
that. I mean, it works better.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
so I was thinking it might be this one, which
Oh,
Ron, he does, I think it's going to be in his new book because he put it in one of his addendums.
Yeah.
okay.
Do you think that this is what yours looks like?
Kind of,
Yeah, kind of. Mine is more
a little hairier.
cone-like. Cone. It's more like a cone instead of a bulby thing.
Right.
Or 4
And
looks.
it was on the main rib of the Canyon Live Oak.
Yeah, let me see if there was anything else here that looked,
I always look at your site, but
yeah.
Did we give, Kim, did we give you Joyce's website? It's pretty easy. Joyce Gross Galls.
Google Joyce Gross.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I looked it up, I just put her name in and it pops right up.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're like #1 on Google. Okay.
Yeah, anyway, I
Okay.
don't see it under the, I don't think it's a described goal.
Okay.
So, and this is Heterorhecus pacificus, the bisexual generation. And it is,
Oh, that's maybe what I thought it was.
it is more cone-like, but the hairs,
Not hairy, yeah.
yeah.
Although this is probably a pretty old gall,
So
right?
if it were dusty maybe, but
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're right. I do find a lot of undescribed galls.
Yeah, especially Canyon Live Oak has a lot of galls that are, maybe have been known for decades and decades, but
Yeah, I think that's what I thought it was, Pacificus, the spring generation, right? Yeah, okay.
yeah. Was there more than one or just that
No,
one?
that was the only one I found, just like the other one I found earlier in the year that you have.
Yeah, which nothing's come out of, but
Hmm.
still.
So I got an old gall off the oak tree across the street. I took my ladder out and stole this gall. It doesn't have much in it. Yeah, it doesn't have much in it, but it does have like an exit hole, I think. Whoops, I'm gotta get it, not. I got the sun coming in the window. See, it's got like a little exit path right there.
yeah,
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. You carved it all out and dissected.
no, yeah, I just used a kitchen knife.
Was it serrated? Yeah,
It
that
was a
works.
little hard. Yeah, and a cutting board. Yeah, here the light's better now, so you can kind of see the, well, a little better. Anyway,
Yeah. No, that's cool.
was it on Valley Oak?
I think it's a Valley Oak. It's just in the yard across the street.
I suspect that's Androcus quercus californicus. It sure looks like it.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
how it
yeah.
looks from the outside, and I cut it right down. Its exit hole was right on the edge here, so I just cut it right down the exit hole. Like there, you can kind of see.
Yeah, I should bring this over. I've got a whole jar of them, which I can
Yeah.
do, that match yours.
Are those the classic oak apples that people call oak
Well,
apples? Or-
no, they're not. The classic oak apple actually comes from England. There was even an oak apple day that
Mhm.
be celebrated from about the 17th century on, but they've forgotten it now. But yeah, this is it. This is
Yep.
just about what you got.
Yeah, it looks like
Put them in here and hoping that I could have one exit and conveniently be, yeah, see, they can get a little deformed too.
Mhm.
It's a bit deformed, but they don't, no wasps alive right now, which there should be, but you know, I recommend to school teachers who want to have something quick and easy to show to collect these at the beginning of October and then just wait a few days. And sometimes they'll come out right away. And sometimes they wait till November.
Mhm.
And I had a whole, well, as I told you, one class of 5th grade boys who ripped open and discovered that even in November, they weren't all out. They were by then though, you know. Well, I had hoped we would be a little bit more organized today, and it's very much my fault. Again, I give full credit to Joyce, who's done live camera action for us for dissections. I just now tried to dissect one of these and discovered that even with my sharp razor blade, this is a tough one. This needs a serrated knife or maybe a hacksaw. Was that what you were using? No, that you had, it was a different one that you used it on.
Mhm.
That was, what was that? That's homoformis, Quercus homoformis, on
Caloritis.
live oak. Yeah, on agrifolia. Yeah,
Oh, I finally got it. I got something in a Quercus californicus gall.
Good.
I'm gonna put her on my,
It should be an adult by now, unless it's a
yeah,
parasitoid.
no, it's an adult. I'm not quite sure what, something, I'm not sure if she's alive. I have to shut her door so the cat doesn't go in the wrong place.
Well, again, thank you guys for your patience. When we do these in person, and we always have such fun, this is the time we go out for a walk and find galls, or all of us start dissecting them together when we run around from place to place to see who's seen what, although nobody can see all of it. But when, when I don't, my equipment apparently is just totally lacking. Joyce, who has the best and latest equipment, can't be dissecting that fast or she would lose all her fingers. So she did her best. How many dissections did you do? At least 10 in the last hour, right?
Yeah, you should see what a mess it is in here.
I believe you. No, you did. Actually, you showed us more than 10. So I'm sure you've dissected more than that. And you didn't show us everything. So yeah.
No.
So you're my hero. Whoa. Okay, that would be an Andricus Quercus californicus. Now she just came out, but she's not moving yet.
I haven't seen her move.
Okay, you
Oh
can
no,
poke at
I
her
see her
gently with the
move.
stick.
There she goes.
Oh yeah, a little light will help her get up faster too. So you've probably got your light on her to get a good look. Whoa, the other antenna popped up. Okay. Now we could wait all day while she slowly grooms herself. She will turn around and right herself, stretch her wings, groom herself. Yeah, see? And first she has to get up. So come on, move. But it takes a long time and it's a long process. And while it's fascinating to watch, I bet most of you are a little bored with this by now. So I'll put everything that I promised you together that I didn't put in that I dissected, so you can see the sequences of the pictures I showed you, and that will be helpful. And if you wanted to look at any more of these things that I've got, okay, this one is Bruneus, yes, Andricus Bruneus. Notice that it's near the petiole of the leaf at the base right here. So the galls, there's several of them, 4, I believe. And that's how I usually see it. Clusters of galls near the base of the leaf. And this is one of my very favorites, Andricus, wait, no, this is Antron or Cynips Quercus echinus, bright pink. I don't know how well you can see this, but I've got a whole bunch of them sitting in front of me. I could show you in my hand if I could glue them to my fingers. There you go. All different shades of pink. So, my internet connection or yours? It says my internet connection is unstable. Okay. So we're all still here, but it is getting later.
Yeah, so I mean, I personally could look at this all day under the microscope. I think it's totally magnificent. But I just want to give a huge thank you to you guys. This is not easy. And all the hours of preparation that you guys both put into planning for this, and sort of your open mindset with just trying to tackle the technology and everything. It's just so impressive, and we are so appreciative. And I'm just going to propose that after there's a vaccine, let's get together and do a live dissection, because this is just so.
Well, we actually want to go on a walk too. Walks are half the fun, finding things. Then we bring them back and dissect them, or look at the pictures and try to identify them. Oh, somebody's showing in Janice. Is that you showing us something? No, your hand was right near the camera. I thought you were showing us a gall. I'm always happy to identify. Well, I really appreciate you guys' patience, and thank you for joining us, and thank you, Joyce, for all the hard work. You did the heavy lifting. All I did was just talk.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Oh, what's this? Oh,
It's a weevil larva.
it's a which?
It's a weevil.
Oh, a weevil. Look at how fast he's moving. Okay, definitely a caterpillar, a weevil. Well, no, a caterpillar.
Beetle.
A grub. That's a little grub. He's moving in fast, covering a lot of ground.
Yeah, this came out of the one of the acorns.
Which you had suspected. Now, again, I want to say, Joyce said she apologized, she couldn't always tell if they were cyanipid galls or weevils in the acorns, but this has been a huge year for the acorn. Is it weevil? Something, you'll know because Pete made a big announcement to all of us Essig folks that they'd had a major year at UC Berkeley and all over the Bay Area for.
I thought that was the oak moth.
Okay, it's the oak moth. All right, so
yeah, they defoliated the trees on campus.
Yeah, that too. Yes.
This is
It's always exciting.
This acorn here is what the weevils left.
All right, they don't know not to advocate where they live either.
Yeah, they're kind of big too, so they make a mess. They have to eat a lot of the acorn.
So this has been very exciting because we haven't known each one of those dissections what we would find or what Joyce would find for us. And I thank you guys for being patient, and thank you, Joyce, for doing the heavy lifting. And I'll put together what little I contributed today into something like a PDF file that you guys can download. Just pictures, yeah, whatever. But yeah. Again, thank you for showing the video, Kim, and thank you for hanging in, all of you wonderful audience, and mostly thanks to Joyce for all the hard work.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All. Very nice.
Thank you for your patience.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Oh, yes. Happy Halloween.
And thanks, Kim, for setting it up, too.
Yes, well, thanks for
Thank
giving
you.
me the kick in the rear to do it.
No, it was great fun, and thank you for inviting us. So,
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. Take care.
all right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.